all who come to this happy place, welcome to another episode of Gettin Goofy Radio. I'm Stephen Bell, along none other than my co-host, Mr. Eric Kushel.
Welcome, everyone. Thanks, Devin. Happy to see you, buddy. How are you?
Of course. Oh, I've been looking forward to recording an episode of talking about Disney World since we turned off our last session. So I'm fantastic right this second. How are you?
Exactly the same, and actually a little bit better because at the time of recording, we just got news that Disney Springs is opening up this month. So I can smell the roses, and I'm
slow and
looking
steady.
forward to it.
Slow and steady. Let's go. I'm ready to get back.
I think it's for the best the way that they have been doing it, and they are kind of taking their time, and they're probably doing a lot of training and stuff, and they have to get cast members back on property, and I think there's a lot of stuff they have to do, but I'm happy about the progress, and the slow and steady, like you say. I think we could be we might be there next month, so I got my fingers crossed, and I'm ready to be back at the most magical place on earth.
Let's do it. And I think that gets me to thinking, we've not had it for a number of weeks, which is weird because I have gone more than 6 weeks without going to Disney World, but I've never had Disney World taken from me to where I couldn't go if I wanted to. So this 6 weeks feels different, if that makes sense.
100%. I mean, because this is like, we've all skipped school, but this is being suspended. You just can't go back.
Hey now.
We're not condoning it. But I mean, you just absolutely can't go back. There's, like you said, there's been 6 week droughts. There's been 12-week droughts, but that was voluntary. This is completely involuntary. It's mandated. You can't go back. So there's something that makes it feel just a little bit worse.
And selfishly speaking, not to mention, this is the window of the best weather in Florida. There's two times a year, right? You've got mid-March through the beginning of May, and then you've got the end, well, really more like the middle of September through the beginning of December. Those are the two times that you really get that fantastic weather. So selfishly, we've missed that weather, but this year I'll just have to brave the heat if they happen to open during the summertime.
Yeah, I mean, we typically try not to go as much during the summer because it's so sweltering.
It's debilitatingly hot outside during the summertime. We get there, we go a few times this summer, but during this time of year and during the fall, like I mentioned, we're there, 2 out of 4, maybe 3 out of 4 weekends in a given month. During the summer, we hit that 1 of 4, 1 of 5, go a couple times, but nothing over the top.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, and for me, flower and garden, that's the sweet spot. That's when I'm there probably the most throughout the year, because even at a Wine and Dine, which is probably my favorite festival, it's still hot. I mean, September and October, we're still pretty hot then. So the flower and garden, you can string together a couple decent weekends and get out there and still be in the 70s with mid 50 or like 50% humidity and have just amazing weather. So
during the summertime is when I try to find those fantastic Florida resident rates on the yacht club, and specifically spend time at the pool at the yacht club or the Polynesian or wherever has that Florida resident or annual pass holder rate.
Oh yeah.
Go to a deluxe property and we'll go see the parks, but they're not the focal point of that visit. Sure. The focal point of those visits would be delicious food and enjoying the pools and the proximity to the fantastic resorts.
Yeah.
So it's funny how my strategy changes throughout the year based on the weather. In the wintertime, I'll go to the park for 10 hours during the day.
Yeah.
But in the summertime, I will hardly spend more than 3 hours in the park just based on the heat.
It's similar for me in golfing. And
yes. Perfect.
Anytime May to September, don't ask me to golf. I'm not getting out there. But so similar, if you say, hey, you want to go to Disney for 10 hours, the parks, sure. Between May and September, no thanks. But as soon as you get November on, they get those winter months. Spring.
I actually did invite you golfing. It was last summer, and you're like, "Hey, man, remember it's May through September right now." That was your answer.
Sorry, bro.
Like,
not happening.
Good enough. But that leads us to a good topic, and talk about our conversation today. Since we've been missing Disney, and the weather is beautiful outside. Let's just talk through, have some banter back and forth on what would be our ideal day today at the parks. And it's an interesting conversation because for me specifically, I could go to the park on any given day and my perfect day Disney changes depending on the weather, depending on
Sure.
the time of year, depending on which festivals are in. Is it Christmas season because Magic Kingdom is beautiful?
Oh
All
yeah.
these things, right? But today, if I was at the parks today, what
Yeah.
would be my perfect day at Disney? I'd like to hear your thoughts on what your perfect day at Disney World would be today. And I would, give you mine as well. And it
Definitely.
starts with, we're going to assume that we're staying on property and we wake up at the resort we want to be at and we
Yeah.
go through the day and we just have a good time talking about what would today have brought if we were at the parks. What do you think?
Yeah, I like it. And to be clear, it's not like fantasy. So this isn't waking up in Cinderella's castle suite or in the bungalows at the Polynesian or something like that, right? It's like obtainable goals if the parks were open today.
I need to throw my list out, man. So Cinderella's Castle's out. Club 33 is out.
Victoria and Albert's.
I don't have anything to talk about anymore, so I'll just go ahead and see you guys later.
My wife was going to be Tinkerbell flying from the
Exactly. This isn't a Make-A-Wish? Okay, sorry. Let me bring you back to reality. Something that's attainable for us regular common folk.
I think I've put some thought into it, and I can give you today's ideal day, and I think it's a good topic. I think it's something that a lot of people have probably thought about while we're in quarantine. Of like, man, if Disney were open right now, what would we do and where would we go? Heck, maybe you had reservations that you had to cancel that you had at these parks and these resorts and restaurants. You had to cancel them, and then now it's these are gone, and we're hoping for better days ahead. Yeah, so I'll kick this thing off, and I think the first natural reaction is where you're staying, where you're waking up on your ideal day, and my wife and I went back and forth on this for a little bit, and for us, we're waking up at the yacht club on the club level. Yeah, I'm getting pretty specific.
Oh, come on now.
Listen, it's not a dream situation. We've both done it. That's our situation because it's also part of my eating. So that's why it makes it ideal. That's what makes it ideal.
I mean, just hopping right in. If you're talking about purely economical figures here,
yep.
There's complimentary drinks, and they have food throughout the day. If you actually plan your meals, and it's not really meal food, but you can make a meal for breakfast and lunch, certainly. And
even dinner, if you were just, it's almost like eating around at the Flower and Garden or the Wine and Dine. It's small bites, but you could easily fill up.
So in the times where you can find a concierge level room for $150 to $200 more a night, if you're a family of 4, it honestly, economically speaking, probably works out to be cheaper if you play your cards right and you don't want to eat in restaurants as well. You can have drinks, you can eat food. I mean, if you're talking about a family of 4 and every meal costs $50, $60 anyway,
you're running
it pretty close.
I've worked it out, and it's paid for itself a couple times.
And you always get a better view on the concierge level.
You always get a good level. You always get a good view. That, like Seven said, they have there's a continental breakfast. It's not just pastries. Sometimes there's some actual hot breakfast items out there. There's bagels. There's all the different toppings and
snacks
stuff.
all day. Snacks all day.
Then there's a brunch kind of thing. There's a lunch. There's a midday snack. There's dinner, and then there's cordials and dessert. So, I mean, if you go to 2 of those throughout the day, you're saving for a family of 4. You're saving the upwards of $150, $200 if you're out eating, and if you throw in a character meal into that, you're saving $300 or $400 by doing that.
I mean, grab an apple and walk out. No one's stopping you for grabbing that apple.
I mean, you
the
go
kids
in
can eat it on the way.
You have your coffees. You're like we've grabbed apples and bananas and sodas, and heck, we've had a lady give us a bucket of beers to take down to the pool. So if you play your cards right, you can save some money. So for us,
so I take that back. It's not, that is absolutely something within the realm of what we would do. I was flabbergasted that you thought about it
and
and I
have
didn't.
done,
But
and
hey,
have done.
yes, yes, yes.
So yeah, we're waking up at the yacht club resort on the club level, as I mentioned, and we're skipping Boma, we're skipping Cape May, we're skipping all that, and we're going straight to the club level breakfast. You go in there, they have the news on one television, they have classic Mickey cartoons on another. You sit in there, you have your breakfast, whether it's just your bagels or and cream cheese or your cold cuts, or sometimes, like I said, they have some kind of specialty stuff. You're in there, you have your coffees and pastries, and then they even have mimosas there too. So you grab a mimosa or two just to get your morning going right. That's how we're starting our morning. And for us, we kind of talked about maybe just the convenience of walking to Epcot, but this is our ideal day. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down and we're going to take the boat over to Hollywood Studios. So we're getting to Hollywood
Love
Studios.
it. Let me hear it. Let me hear it.
We're getting over to Hollywood Studios for the early AM. And we're
Are
not.
you rope dropping Hollywood Studios? Or you're eating your
Nah,
breakfast, you're taking your time, you're gonna get there while it's not crowded, but you're not necessarily wasting 3 hours trying to rope drop and wake up at 5 a.m. You want
no,
to enjoy your day.
we're strolling in at 9 o'clock, knowing that we already have a fast pass for Smuggler's Run and Slinky Dog and Tower of Terror, and we're kind of realizing we're not gonna get a boarding group for Rise of the Resistance, and that's not an ideal day for me, having to get up at 6 to be there at rope drop. So
Isn't it? So can I just interject for a second and
yeah,
just talk about where we were 10 years ago and to where we are now, and how Hollywood Studios would be the start of your ideal day. And you just mentioned 3 rides, 2 of which you got. You got Smuggler's Run, you got Slinky Dog, and you didn't even talk about Rise of Resistance. How far the attractions and rides at Hollywood Studios have come in the last 10 years. When we were going, it was straight up. Yes, I said straight up. Rock and Roller Coaster, Tower of Terror, Toy Story Mania was fresh on the scene,
yeah.
and Indiana Jones. No one was riding the original Star Wars ride because everyone was getting sick and nauseous on it.
We would
I
even
mean, how far we've
run
come.
through Honey, I Shrunk the Kids as
Oh
young
yes, the
20
grass. The
somethings.
grass is like
As
5 feet
young 20
tall.
somethings, we'd go through there. It was, yeah. But I mean,
Amazing,
everyone
amazing.
used to say Hollywood Studios, it's a half day park. It's a half day park. It quickly turned into a 2 day park.
Yep.
To be able to get,
And the food's gotten better too.
listen, I even skipped Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. Like I skipped that too on there because
Didn't even
that's,
think about it.
I mean,
Amazing.
so back to it. We're strolling in around 9 a.m. We're not worried about the stress of getting a boarding group and all that. So we're going in. What we're doing is we're walking straight down towards the Tower of Terror. We go in there. There's nothing like a good, refreshing
Sunset, right?
Sunset Boulevard. I think that's what it is. We're going right down, and we're getting that thrill ride. We're jumping right on Tower of Terror, getting going, get your stomach pumping, get your blood going. First thing in the morning. We're gonna walk down. We're gonna head over to Toy Story Land. We're
Wait,
gonna.
first, when you went to Tower of Terror, did the citizens of Main Street make fun of you or chastise you at all? Were you part of
You're
their
jumping the
show?
gun, man. You're jumping the
I'm
gun on
sorry.
my
I'm
ideal
sorry.
day.
But you were walking by. You were walking by them.
They weren't
I just
out
thought
yet.
they might.
They
Okay.
weren't out
Okay. They were
yet.
sleeping. They are.
In my
They are prohibition era.
in my
They may have been sleeping in. They may have been sleeping in.
they got stopped at the railroad tracks, and we
Are they
went
prohibition era? I think they're
we went
prohibition.
hard. We went hard right.
Okay. Okay. Good.
And so we go back to Toy Story Land. We get over there. We jump on we use our fast pass for Slinky Dog Dash. We have a great time. You get to see into Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. You get to see Andy's backyard. Great time. We jump off that, and you said, you know what? Now it's probably approaching 10:30, 11 o'clock. We said, let's stroll over through Galaxy's Edge. We'll go in there. We're gonna walk through and just kind of we're not riding anything at all. I mean, maybe we go try to jump on Smuggler's Run if we feel like it. I have a fast pass. If we get it, we don't. We keep going. So we walk out of there and we go straight to the Baseline Tap House. It's now 11 o'clock. You say, you know what we're going to do? We're going to have our charcuterie board and we're going to have a beer flight. We're going to sit back. We're going to enjoy it. We're going to people watch. We're going to take our time, enjoy the sceneries, finish that beer flight, have ourselves a second beer flight. All the while just enjoying ourselves.
Are you gonna look for the tribute to the old Ryder shop that was there before?
Sure, I love a good Easter egg. I love a good Easter egg.
It's there. It's fantastic.
I love a good Easter egg.
We don't want to give it away to you guys if you don't know what we're talking about, but it's really cool to look and see how they worked in, because that was a beloved spot.
It was.
Jenny and I used to love going there. It was no one was there. It was always quiet. It was a nice place of rest.
Quiet little nook.
And
it was great.
And so it's nice that they give nods to those type things.
I love it. I really do. I enjoy that. Talk about Winnie the Pooh ride, you know, the Easter egg there. There's a lot. I love the Easter eggs that Disney does. I mean,
Mr. Toad with Winnie the Pooh, absolutely.
No other company in the world thinks about these, just the tributes to things of past, and so I love that. So yeah, you know, I love a good Easter egg. So from there, we finished that. Well, we're gonna go over and take a picture with Gertie. You gotta love a picture with Gertie the dinosaur. I love that. So on our way out, we're gonna stop by 50's Prime Time at the Tune In Lounge, and we're gonna get ourselves a vodka peanut butter and jelly milkshake.
Yes.
We're gonna enjoy that for a little bit. Sit there, people watch, maybe even walk into Indiana Jones, depending on the time frame or the timing. And if it is playing, we'll walk in there, enjoy our milkshake. So now I'm calling it 12:30. The plan is get back on the boats, back to the yacht club, to which we then quickly change into our swimsuits and go and enjoy Stormalong Bay.
Yes.
Stormalong Bay, for those of you who don't know, is the best pool on property that the yacht and the beach club share.
By a wide margin, by absolutely wide margin. There are some fantastic pools on property, and if you haven't stayed at the Yacht and Beach Club, and you have a bucket list trip where you want to have a nice pool, make it happen.
That's it. I mean, it is the top of the line. It is an incredible pool. It has a sand bottom pool with sandbars for children. It has a lazy river. It has what I believe is the longest slide on property, not at a water park.
With pool service from Hurricane Hattie's, right?
Exactly.
You just sit there and Hurricane Hannah's. They will walk over to you and take your order.
They will.
And bring it back to you.
It's like a beach resort, like a proper beach resort where waiters and waitresses walk around, take your order. They'll bring you back stuff to your table. So yeah, and that's what we're doing for lunch. We're getting there. We're getting a kids meal where they get the hamburger in the bucket in the pail, so my daughter can then play with that bucket in the sand. Those are souvenirs, cheap souvenirs that are a lot of fun that I probably have 4 or 5 of in my garage. Yep. But that's the plan for lunch. You go there, you have a nice Goose Island 420, and you sit around with the kids, you enjoy that. And then on our ideal day, we have the in-laws come get the kids for the second half of the day. And this is also something that is realistic and happens for us because my in-laws live just north of Orlando. So at this time, after our hour or two in the pool, my beloved in-laws, David and Evelyn Bennett, come and get the girls and take them back to their house. And then my wife and I, we stroll into Epcot for some afternoon fun. We walk into Epcot, and for those of you who don't know about the International Gateway, you walk right into the UK Pavilion. You can make a hard right and get to France, but for all intents and purposes, you are in the UK Pavilion when you walk in there. So you
may see Mary Poppins when you walk in.
You can see Mary Poppins.
You get transformed or whatever it's called. You get teleported from the yacht club to proper Britain in the UK Pavilion, and chances are Mary Poppins just sitting out there taking shots.
It's pretty awesome.
Photo shots. Excuse me. Let me correct that.
It's pretty awesome because that little corner, I call it the Bermuda Triangle there, you have Goofy who takes pictures sometimes on the right to the right before you head over the bridge to France. You have Mary Poppins and sometimes Bert who take pictures to the left. And occasionally you have Captain Hook take pictures just across that bridge And then
Mm-hmm.
you have Alice in Wonderland, who has her little garden right there. So it's crazy. So at any time, depending on the time of day, you could walk in and get a real good photo opportunity with with
Yeah.
beloved characters. So
Before you get into your drinks, can I talk about the UK Pavilion for 1 second?
yeah, please.
So everyone that I know, at least, when they rope drop Epcot, because Epcot opens at two different times. The first part of the park opens a little bit earlier than the World Showcase. They always go left. They always go towards Mexico, and they wait because they want to go ride Frozen. They
Mm-hmm.
want to ride Frozen, and when they ride Frozen, they enter that way. Very little known fact. They open the World Showcase just past the point of the UK Pavilion. So if you don't like crowds and you want to enjoy some pavilion time before the parks get super crowded, you can go to the right when you walk in the front entrance of Epcot, not the back entrance. Take a right, swing in there, walk past Canada, and go hang out in the little garden section where the band used to play.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, I'm forgetting the name right now.
British
The
Revolution.
British Revolution used to play, and you can hang out there for an hour or two, literally by yourself in Epcot in Disney World. No one is bothering you. Best opportunity for fantastic photos. Just really, really good opportunity to just enjoy time by yourself and enjoy the magic of Disney by yourself.
You don't even have to wait in the garden. You can actually cross the bridge and go into France where Leal is open, and you can actually eat breakfast in there before any other part of the World Showcase opens. So you
Yeah,
can actually go
absolutely.
all the way back through there. But to your point,
There's something about being in any area of Disney World, just in
that's
solitude
secluded.
by
When it's
yourself.
secluded and so yeah, it's the gardens in Canada Pavilion, the
Yeah.
gardens in the UK Pavilion, whatever it is.
For all you Instagrammers that want to take 5,000 photos and post them for your 100,000 followers, go do that by yourself with no one else there.
You run
I'm
back to
telling you,
the
I'm telling you.
waterfalls in Canada, gorgeous. Any
No
part of
one's
the
there.
UK
No one
Pavilion,
goes right. No one goes right.
yeah. So yeah,
But I digress.
fully
Sorry, I didn't
agree.
mean to get too. I just wanted to say that because I certainly appreciate it, and I know other people do as well.
We got to be educational for those who don't know about it too. So yeah, back to the ideal day. We're now walking through the International Plaza or International Gateway. We're beelining into the Rose and Crown pub, to which my wife and I are not splitting, we're each having a snake bite or two, followed by maybe even an Irish car bomb or just something that that you don't get to do all the time. So from there, we are going to Canada, and I'm having one of my favorite beers on property, La Fin du Monde. I will have one of those while we continue to make our way around the World Showcase. And I'm not saying we're going to properly drink around the world in this ideal day, but there will be multiple stops. I think we can make a whole video on how we would drink around the world and our favorite drinks. But for me, we would stop particular at the Rose and Crown, have a snake bite, stop in the Canada Pavilion, have a La Fin du Monde, get to the Mexico Pavilion, which we would promptly go to La Cava del Tequila and have a avocado jalapeno margarita and a queso guacamole and salsa trio dip.
And you know how Epcot doesn't actually serve shots.
Yeah.
How do they get away with the guise of having a tequila flight? That's not just three shots.
those are toothpick
They're pretty
holders.
much in shot. They're in shot glasses.
They're toothpick holders, as Disney calls them. You're having toothpick
Sorry,
holders of
so funny. It's so
tequila.
funny to me. Oh, we don't serve shots, but here's a flight of tequila. Don't drink that in one sip.
Yeah, or the floaters that they put on the the frozen Cokes, or the floaters they put
so
on
good,
cocktails.
so good.
So yeah, we're making our way around. We will then we enjoy the scenery in the China Pavilion. We walk over the bridge, head through the African port or part of Epcot, and we get to Germany, which again we enjoy ourselves another beer, and then kind of just promptly make our way back to our hotel and get dolled up, and we're heading to the Yachtsman for dinner. We're going to go into the Yachtsman and have a similar meal like we did on our honeymoon, which I believe I got the Delmonico steak. We got almost every side they had and this is what we're getting on our ideal day. We're getting the Brussels, we're getting the mac and cheese, we're getting the cream spinach, the potatoes au gratin. We're getting it all. We're splitting a nice bottle of wine, and we're skipping dessert, and we're going back up to the club level for the cordials and desserts. They have small bites, they have small dessert plates, they have little ice cream, just great little kind of amuse-bouche bites. They have great little things. They have port wine, they have regular wine, they have beers, and that's where we're finishing our day. That's where we're doing it. We're probably going to get a to-go drink from there, and we're taking it into the room, which we can watch Epcot forever from our balcony overlooking Stormalong Bay. We're going to sleep and running it back the next day.
Oh, man. I feel like if we were in an auditorium full of people and you ask one of those questions and you're like, raise your hand if you want to have this day, like 2 or 3 people would they would questionably just kind of like put their hand in the air. And then within like 4 seconds, the entire auditorium had their full arms extended, ready to be like, I'm in. That's my day. Let's do that.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like you said, there's 1,000 different ways to go about this. And you could have picked there's so many different ways. It's the luxury day, it's the spa day, it's the golf day, it's the extreme rides day, it's the hit all 4 parks in a day, it's fast pass.
There's the which resort are you staying at, which dictates the day that you have.
Yeah.
So you just talked about the yacht club, which for all intents and purposes Epcot / Hollywood Studios area, and you just talked about a fantastic day in Epcot and Hollywood Studios. Started and finished off at the yacht club.
Yeah, we didn't need to get in a car. We didn't need to get on a bus. We didn't have to get our car from valet. We didn't have to do anything. We got on a boat. Who brought us to Hollywood Studios, and it brought us back.
Is it going to be weird when we go to the yacht club and we order the fishbowl margarita and it's for 2 straws and our wives want to drink it and you and I are actually on the other end of both straws, just sucking down the margarita?
Just Lady and the Tramp that. No, say how many straws? Just 2.
Actually, 2. 1. Just 1.
I skipped over some rides at Epcot too. I mean, ideally we on our walk through from Canada to Mexico, we'd stop by and do Spaceship Earth, and we're going to skip over the Frozen ride because we're not with the girls. Hey, it's a great ride, but I just got
a mosquito. That was weird.
Keeping Florida. That on. I saw it. Keeping that on. And
Hashtag Florida.
No, I gotta start pointing this way because that's where it goes. But maybe we do Grand Fiesta Tour, throw it in there. But I mean, wake up at the yacht club, breakfast at the yacht club, lunch, dinner, back at the Yachtsman. To us, it's an ideal day.
That's amazing. That's a fantastic day. I feel like this trip, Animal Kingdom and Animal Kingdom Lodge, is not going to get its due because I'm not going to go there because that's a full-on by itself day. But like we said, so many different ways to spend the perfect day at Disney World. Did you want to hit on any other topics, or should I hop into my day? And you tell me where
you brought up Animal Kingdom Lodge, and that was our second choice. Like, ideally we'd want to wake up at a Safari View room or Savannah View room, excuse me, and then go eat at Boma. And look at the top thing here. For those of you who can't read breakfast, Boma. Like it says it right there. And like that was one of our things. And it was
you should have been a doctor, Eric. Your handwriting.
Wake up in Animal Kingdom Lodge, go to Boma. We say, you know what? Let's think back on trips past and what we really, really enjoyed. And there's times we ate breakfast, lunch, and dinner in the club level and had drinks and snacks and got beers throughout the day to bring back to the pool. And we said, you know what? That's what we're playing off of. That's our ideal day. So I got nothing else. I want to hear about yours.
Yeah, let's do it. So before I get to mine, there have been times where I have stayed at the Animal Kingdom Lodge with that Savannah view and absolutely not left property literally all day.
There's a lot.
Went to bed the night before, woke up, spent the day looking at beautiful exotic animals, swimming, back to the resort. Just a fantastic experience. So let's put that aside and let's make sure we hit on Animal Kingdom and goods due in the near future. For me right now, everything's about the Mecca. The Mecca is Magic Kingdom. There is no tiered ride system. And for those of you who don't know, Magic Kingdom is the only park that doesn't have a tiered ride system. So at Magic Kingdom, you can select any of the rides for your fast passes. Whereas at Hollywood Studios, Animal Kingdom, and Epcot, they have tiers because they don't have quite as many attractions. So you have to pick a stellar ride and then the second tier rides for your fast passes. So if that gives you an indication of where I'm going to the Magic Kingdom. So
but where are you waking up?
Where I'm waking up at the Polynesian. I mean, I cannot, for some reason, I've been on this Polynesian kick for a few years and I just can't shake it. Grand Floridian for a long time was my favorite resort, and I think ultimately will end up being my favorite resort. But all the changes they made at the Polynesian, the lava pool at the Polynesian, Trader Sam's, Ohana, Kona Grill, the little coffee bar there. It's just, I mean, Dole Whips at the Dole. I mean, it's just, I cannot shake the nostalgia of the Polynesian. So I'm waking up at the Polynesian. I'm wrestling my family out of bed. Get out of bed. AKA, I'm trying to sleep. My daughter's like, Daddy, get up. Like, all right, here we go. We're going to get ready. We're going to throw our clothes on and we're going to run straight to Ohana. And we're going to do the Lilo and Stitch breakfast with Mickey Mouse and Pluto.
Yep.
And we're going to enjoy that family style breakfast with our cousins. We're going to get that Pog juice. It's going to be fantastic. We're going to scarf that down. We're going to get our photos. We're going to get our characters out of the way in the best way possible. We're going to do our Congo line, shake with the Congo line, have some fun with the music. And then we're going to head to Magic Kingdom as early as possible. So I'm talking about a 7:10 reservation. So we're leaving Ohana by 8:10.
Nice.
And we're going straight to Magic Kingdom. And we're going to ride 5 rides at Magic Kingdom, 3 of which are going to be Fast Pass, 2 of which are going to be regular queue. And so let's talk about those first.
Let's hear them.
Excuse me, I have some water. We're gonna go in first and not use a fast pass. We're gonna hit either Pirates of the Caribbean or Haunted Mansion, because both those rides first thing in the morning, no line. You pretty much walk onto them. So by virtue of walking in first, let's say we hit Pirates of the Caribbean first. We hit that ride. We get out. Let's say it's 9 o'clock. Our first fast pass.
Nice saltwater smell.
Yep.
Get you going. Yeah, nothing like.
Go see an auction. Enjoy that part of it. And then we're gonna walk out of Pirates of the Caribbean. Instead of heading right and heading back towards Main Street, we're gonna take a left and we're gonna walk into Frontierland. And we're gonna hit about a 9:15 Splash Mountain. So we're gonna get wet to start the day.
Fast pass,
Splash Mountain. After we ride Splash Mountain, we're gonna hang out for a little while. We're gonna do the regular queue and we're gonna hit Haunted Mansion, because we're walking.
It's
I guess
natural progression.
Yeah, clockwise. So we're gonna hit Haunted Mansion.
You're heading back towards New Fantasyland.
Yep. So we get out of Haunted Mansion. Let's say it's 11:30. We will then likely get some food at either Storybook or at Casey's Corner. And then we will finish off our fast passes of the day, which are going to be Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, because call me crazy, I'm not the biggest fan of Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. I like it. I think it's great. I don't think it's worth the wait that everyone waits in it. But my daughter absolutely adores it. I mean, she just turned 4, so it is the most thrilling ride in the history of mankind.
Sure. It's the most aggressive ride she can get on right now.
The smile on her face on that ride
worth it.
Is worth more than any wait or any other ride. So we're gonna hit
the animatronics on it, the special effects. It's pretty awesome. The fact that your thing kind of sweeps back and forth while you're going. There's nothing else like it. So it's a pretty cool deal. I can see why she loves it and see why a lot of people do like it. I mean, would I wait in a 2-hour line for it? Absolutely not. But I would wake up at 6:50 the day of my 60-day booking window and try to get a fast pass for it. I'll tell you that much.
Heck yeah. So we've done that. We've hit Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. So that leaves us with one more ride. I am a sucker for Peter Pan. That ride is
nostalgia.
I still don't understand how that ride operates the way it does. You legitimately feel like you're flying over a city into Neverland, and you are going through Peter Pan experience. It is just a fantastic ride. So we're gonna hit Peter Pan, which is still a hot ticket to this day, one of the most popular rides in all of Disney World.
It yanks on the heartstrings more than, for me, any other ride on property. It just, something about it. A lot of people have an affinity for Peter Pan. Seeing the cars move down underneath you is something special. You know, when you're flying over London, seeing Big Ben, it's just a classic dark ride, and everything about it. Seeing Tink kind of fly around, it's a special
Definitely.
ride. It's definitely a special
It's
ride.
fantastic. So we're gonna hit that ride, and it's 2:30 at this point. So we're gonna hit Peter Pan, and we're gonna enjoy Peter Pan, and then we're gonna play it by ear. But let's just talk about it being today. Today is what's the date today? It's mid-May. It's early in mid-May. We're gonna walk outside, and Festival of Fantasy Parade is gonna be starting soon. So
Nice.
we're gonna hightail it to the front of the park. So we're not gonna follow Festival of Fantasy all the way from Frontier and all the way through. We're gonna hightail it to the front of the park, and we're gonna watch Festival of Fantasy Parade right at the exit of the park. So we'll be out of the park by 3:30, 3:45. We will sprint straight back to the Polynesian, where we will spend a solid hour at the lava pool. It's amazing. They've got a splash pad for kids, one very small slide for what's that?
I'm gonna take the
Over an
over. I'm
hour?
gonna take an over
Yeah.
on that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're talking about ideally, yeah. Really, ideally, I would probably just stay at the pool all day and that would be it. But I want to go through the progression. So if you haven't been to the lava pool, they have 3 great slides. They've got a slide for toddlers, which is about 15 feet. They've got another slide for kids that are toddlers and a little bit above that aren't ready for the longer slide. And they have the big slide in the pool. So just a great pool. They have a bar inside the pool fence area because it is one of the pools that you have to badge in with a magic band, otherwise they will not let you in because it's so popular. So just a great little reprieve from the day. Enjoy some nice cold water or lukewarm water to get our energy back. We will then call our babysitter, because we have been going to Disney long enough that we do have a regular babysitter when we call when we go to Disney World. Our kids are going to be tuckered out at this point. That's a long day for them, so we're gonna give the kids to the babysitter. And we are going to also head to Epcot.
Nice.
When we get to Epcot, I'm going to call it 6:30 because we left Magic Kingdom at 3:30. We spent an hour in the pool. We spent a little time getting ready. We hopped on the monorail and we went over to Epcot. Jenny and I are going to enjoy a little bit of around the world ourselves. We are going to make it a point to try to get that 4th fast pass of the day. These are 3 fast passes, and we're going to hit Soarin'. Soarin' is a fantastic ride.
Jenny's big Soarin' fan.
She loves Soarin'. I mean, it's a great ride.
There's no reason not to love it. What you do is in the title. You don't get that feeling anywhere else unless you're hang gliding or you're on Soarin'. It's an awesome ride.
It's great. And so we're gonna spend time there. And if we can't get Soarin', we're not gonna be disappointed. We will try to grab either Frozen or Test Track. Those would be the 3 rides that I personally like the most at Epcot. We'll see what happens when the Ratatouille rides opens in France. I think that's going to quickly go to the top of my list. Yeah. But right now it's not open, so those are the 3 options we have. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice here. So we're gonna do Soarin'. We are going to eat dinner in Epcot.
Nice.
We're going to go to Teppanito. We're going to go to Japan, and we're going to enjoy the hibachi show.
Nice.
We love hibachi. I'll go to hibachi anywhere, whether it's in Disney World or out of Disney World, but in Disney World, a little extra magic, a little less crude. It's fantastic.
I don't know if there's such thing as a bad hibachi. Even a bad one's a good one. It's like pizza. Even bad pizza is good pizza. I've never had a bad hibachi. Like sometimes the experience isn't all that good, or the show wasn't great, but you cook meat on a really hot table with enough soy sauce, it's going to be good.
It's so good. And the hibachi.
So right saying now, that Teppanito is fantastic. So I'm making a joke, but it is fantastic. And they have very experienced, trained chefs who make incredible food and put on a good show. If anyone's ever been to a Benihana, you would know it's like that, but maybe even up a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And so we're gonna hit that early because I want to get the food. We're hungry. We're gonna get the food out of the way, but we're gonna enjoy that show. And then we're gonna do the same thing that you talked about. We're gonna go to some of our favorite pavilions. We're gonna get a drink in France. We will likely stop by the UK pavilion, maybe Canada for a moose head because instead of you get the left fin du man. I like to go with the moose head. Likely stop by Mexico. We'll circle around it and then head out. I do, as a side note, I do want to see them build Africa out a little more. I think there's so much potential with that. So if in my humble opinion, they could build that Africa outpost into a full-on continental pavilion with a few African countries and really add to the value of the World Showcase. So
Oh, they really could, and I think the discussion was, though, if you want an African influence, you just go to Animal Kingdom. But hopefully there's rumors about maybe a Brazil pavilion or something else that could go right there in between the African outpost and Germany. And while I would be sad to see the African outpost leave because it is the second place on property that you can get a safari amber, I would be completely okay with it to see it be replaced with, Russia or Brazil or Ireland or Greece or someone, something, a proper country representation instead of just a stop to be able to sell hot dogs and chips.
yeah, and souvenirs. I love how you
Yeah.
threw Russia in there, like Russia.
Hey, it'd be cool to see those weird shaped buildings and
Uh, would they
straight
sell fake
vodka.
gold medals? Would they sell? I'm sorry.
Only
I'm sorry.
only vodka.
Would they sell
Russian vodka.
jaded gold medals? I digress.
Vodka.
So let's so I would absolutely enjoy an evening in Disney World in Epcot, more geared toward adults. If I had my way, we would walk back to the monorail and get back to Polynesian for hopefully
Nice.
the late start of the fireworks show at Magic Kingdom. We would walk right upstairs to the Tambu Lounge, and we would grab ourselves a Lapu Lapu and is the back scratcher? What's the other one?
Scratcher.
The back scratcher. And we would humbly split those drinks and enjoy the fireworks. I would try to make it a point if my daughter was still awake. My son's too young. My daughter's still awake. Relieve the babysitter, throw my son in a stroller, grab my daughter so she could watch the fireworks. If it could be possible.
Sorry about the dogs, folks. I think they're reacting to my back scratcher. Guys,
they're stir crazy. They've been in the house for 6 weeks as well.
They're wondering why I've been home so much.
Exactly. So that would basically do it. I think that would be a fantastic way for the nightcap of the evening. And I always enjoy.
So are you watching them from the Tambu Lounge, or are you walking down to the beach?
No, we're walking down to the beach, and we're watching them at the beach. And we're not actually watching at the beach behind the lava pool. Mm-hmm. We're gonna walk over to where the bungalows are and watch them over there, because there's plenty of space over there that, because it's a little bit further walk, no one bothers you. You walk over there, you can enjoy them, have a little more space, same view. And then upon that finishing, I will finish my night with a nice little pineapple Dole Whip.
Nice. That's a nightcap that no one can argue with. If for those of you who don't know, that Polynesian actually pipes in the Wishes soundtrack on that beach. So if you're staying there, and even if you're not, if you're just resort hopping, if you want to get off on that monorail and be there for the fireworks, you can watch the fireworks from the beach and listen to the music and be able to see it, verbatim. It's right in tandem there. It's pretty awesome.
Did you say Wishes?
Is that not? No, it's not Wishes anymore.
It's retired.
Yeah. Sorry. It's Happily Ever After.
Yeah.
Sorry. Jeez. Throwback.
Just take that goofy shirt off.
See, that's why it's good, the back and forth. We get to correct each other. We get to help each other out. And because, man, can you imagine if we had 40,000 listeners? I'd get roasted.
These guys don't know anything about Disney World. The cool thing is you don't have to know anything about Disney World. We just love Disney World. We love talking about it. If
Absolutely.
we're wrong, tell us we're wrong. We don't care. We just love it.
Absolutely. That's what this is all about. The pure passion for it. We'd like to think that we do know more than your average person, but there's experts out there that can take us to school on this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if you think our opinions are decent and you want to tell us that you like it, give us a thumbs up, give us a comment down below, tell us what you agree with, tell us what you completely think that we're fools for not doing something on our ideal day. I'd be happy to hear it.
Yeah. And tell us about your ideal day. We want to hear about it, and we want to know what time of year it is so we can get the backdrop of the weather and why you chose that day. I love listening to other people's days, and if it's good enough, I might just have to steal that day.
For sure. Just wipe that guy's name out.
Yep.
Sorry, we need to run that episode back. Insert this list here.
Need to go ahead and book the Caribbean resort. We're on it. Let's do it now.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I think, with the opening of Disney Springs, there's some hope on the horizon here. We went ahead and booked a couple weekends, and one in June and one in July. So we hope to have some footage for you guys and some new things to talk about, some new things to try. We're going to try to get some fast passes of rides that we haven't done and, share with you guys. And like I said, there's a lot of stuff that we haven't tried yet that we're excited to try. And we're not going to necessarily make full-blown vlogs, but have some footage for you guys to insert on some videos like we have been doing, and just some more stuff. So hopefully we get this pandemic figured out and the state allows Disney to reopen and they get it going, and we're able to share some more stuff with you. Yeah,
absolutely. I think when we talk about what we want to do at Disney World, we just want to go back at this point, but there'll be times. But for all intents and purposes, we just want to continue to keep having fun and getting goofy, and we'll hope you do the same.
That's it. Yeah, man, you're killing these endings, bro.